A new report from Punchbowl News says that Amazon is looking to avoid the blame for raising prices as a result of President Trump's new tariff.
But I imagine you do when it comes to tariffs.
We look at all the things that could impact consumers and customers.
A recent report from Punchbowl News reveals that Amazon is aiming to sidestep public backlash for potential price hikes following new tariffs introduced under President Trump. While the company emphasizes its broader focus on the effects of tariffs on both consumers and customers, a much larger development has grabbed headlines: the CEO's decision to relocate Amazon's headquarters outside the United States. This move marks a pivotal shift for the world's largest online retailer and reflects the evolving landscape of global commerce. Announced in the wake of sweeping tariffs imposed by the incoming U.S. administration, the relocation underscores how vulnerable international trade can be to political shifts. Amazon's massive Pacific Northwest campus now faces an uncertain future, clouding its role as a hub of innovation and employment. Employees once proud of Amazon's meteoric growth must now grapple with major life decisions, whether to follow the company abroad or seek new paths. The decision's impact reaches far beyond the tech world, as governments and commercial partners scramble to evaluate economic repercussions and reconsider how they engage with one of the world's most powerful corporations. At the core of this disruption lies a bold and aggressive trade policy. Tariffs, previously used sparingly, have become a blunt instrument targeting a broad array of America's trading partners. Though intended to bolster domestic manufacturing, these tariffs have unintentionally driven up costs for international buyers and weakened U.S. exporters' competitive edge. As global supply chains buckle under the strain of new customs duties, businesses worldwide must now reassess the real cost of sourcing from the United States. For a global giant like Amazon, built on the efficiency of its international logistics, tariffs pose a fundamental threat. The decision to relocate its headquarters overseas reflects deep dissatisfaction with the current direction of U.S. economic policy. While large corporations are no strangers to regulatory change, the sheer speed and breadth of these new trade restrictions have blindsided many, including Amazon's leadership. Executives across the company's divisions have had to accept a sobering truth: not even the most resilient businesses are immune to geopolitical unpredictability. Though relocating operations abroad is a drastic measure, Amazon's top brass believes it's the only sustainable way to maintain global competitiveness and serve customers affordably. Choosing the new headquarters was a strategic process, shaped by numerous factors. Countries with favorable tax laws, strong tech infrastructure, and political stability quickly rose to the top. Close proximity to manufacturing hubs was also key to ensuring a smooth flow of goods from factories to fulfillment centers. Additional considerations included local talent availability, quality of life, and educational institutions. The selected country now stands to gain enormously. Amazon's investment is expected to generate tens of thousands of high-skilled jobs and spur growth in real estate, logistics, and services. The broader impact extends far beyond financial reports. In Amazon's former host city, the fallout is already being felt. Small businesses that thrived on Amazon employee patronage are seeing revenues fall. Real estate values, once lifted by the influx of high-paying tech jobs, are beginning to soften. City budgets, once buoyed by corporate tax contributions, must now prepare for revenue shortfalls. This ripple effect will touch everything from schools and infrastructure projects to public services. Nationally, policymakers are being forced to confront the consequences of protectionist strategies. While the aim of safeguarding American industry may be noble, it clashes with the realities of interconnected supply chains and consumer demand. As Amazon prepares to establish roots abroad, questions are mounting about the long-term sustainability of trade policies driven more by politics than economic strategy. Critics argue that tariffs have alienated allies and allowed rivals to capitalize on America's retreat from the global stage. The move is a major win for the host country. It sends a clear message to other multinational corporations. Viable alternatives to operating in the U.S. exist. Governments competing for foreign direct investment will intensify their efforts, offering tax incentives, regulatory streamlining, and stable trade environments to attract global businesses. Amazon's relocation could trigger a new era of competition among nations aiming to host the next wave of global corporate headquarters. Each will tout its advantages, be they infrastructure, financial incentives, or talent pools. Meanwhile, Amazon's vast logistics network faces one of its toughest tests yet. Known for its speed and efficiency, Amazon's fulfillment system must now adapt to new trade routes and regulatory environments. Warehouses will be retooled, shipping paths reorganized, and partnerships renegotiated. Employees abroad are preparing for new responsibilities, while governments in host regions roll out incentives to support the transition. There's excitement in the air, but execution must be flawless to avoid service disruptions that could harm Amazon's reputation. Internally, leadership is taking care to manage the cultural shift. Amazon's identity has long been shaped by its leadership principles, and maintaining morale during such a massive change is a significant challenge. Through open communication, town halls, Q&As, and personalized outreach, the company aims to keep staff informed and supported. At the same time, employees are encouraged to embrace the opportunities that come with working in new, dynamic environments. Cross-cultural training programs are being rolled out, while remote work options are offered to those staying behind in the U.S. Industry peers are closely monitoring the transition. For suppliers, the changes present both hurdles and openings. Some may gain faster access to emerging markets. Others must reconfigure shipping routes and production cycles. Consultants and trade advisors are in high demand, helping companies navigate tariff mitigation, alternative sourcing, and compliance. Financial markets initially reacted with volatility, but as details of Amazon's phased relocation emerged, investor confidence stabilized. Analysts are revising forecasts to include expected tax savings, operational efficiencies, and long-term growth in the new host country. While skeptics warn of reputational damage and lost U.S. market share, many observers view the move as a demonstration of Amazon's strategic agility. Beyond financial metrics, the human dimension remains critical. Thousands of employees must decide whether to uproot their lives or forge a new path locally. To ease the transition, Amazon is offering relocation packages, housing assistance, and cultural training. For those staying behind, career counseling and job placement support ensure that their skills remain in demand. News of the move has sparked a broader conversation about corporate identity in an age of borderless ambition. The traditional idea of a single national headquarters anchoring a company is being reevaluated. With global operations spanning continents, Amazon is redefining what it means to be a corporate citizen in the 21st century. The timing, soon after a surprising presidential election, highlights how quickly political shifts can disrupt business strategy. Around the world, boardrooms are reassessing risk plans and regulatory scenarios. The message for governments is clear. To attract and retain global businesses, consistency and long-term vision are key. In its new jurisdiction, Amazon is expected to drive innovation with fewer regulatory constraints. Freed from tariffs and associated costs, the company can reinvest in R&D, logistics tech, and global partnerships. Its new headquarters will serve as a global center of excellence, attracting top talent and fostering innovation through diversity and cross-border collaboration. Even as this new chapter begins, much remains in motion. The relocation will take months, if not years, to complete. During that time, Amazon must honor commitments to current customers and staff while building a forward-looking foundation. In Washington, lawmakers will face pressure to respond to what many see as a rebuke of U.S. policy. Trade alliances may shift, and the global economy will adjust to the evolving presence of American corporations abroad. From a supply chain perspective, this is a seismic event. Companies that once depended on U.S.-based distribution must now reevaluate logistics. Relocating fulfillment centers to Europe or Asia requires rethinking inventory strategies, demand forecasting, and last-mile delivery systems. Amazon's engineers and researchers are already refining logistics algorithms to account for extended lead times and more complex customs environments. Traditional models based on the predictability of U.S. infrastructure must evolve to accommodate a patchwork of international regulations and duties. Meanwhile, Amazon's vendor network faces a major transition. Thousands of small and mid-sized businesses must adapt to more complex shipping requirements and cost structures. Some may even move production closer to Amazon's new operations or consider nearshoring strategies. Supply chain financing is also being restructured. New instruments must accommodate different financial systems, exchange rates, and credit risk profiles. On the tech side, Amazon Web Services will expand data infrastructure globally. New data hubs near growing customer bases will help maintain performance while meeting regional privacy laws. This requires airtight security, localized backups, and compliance with diverse regulatory frameworks. Architects and data scientists are working to ensure customer data remains secure and in compliance with evolving legislation. Brick-and-mortar partners face their own crossroads. Retailers who relied on Amazon's US-centric model must now adjust to more geographically diverse systems. While companies with global reach may benefit from deeper collaboration, others will need to find new logistics partners or build in-house capabilities. This shift may even accelerate the rise of regional e-commerce players in the US left in Amazon's wake. On the financial front, Amazon's treasury and capital planning are being revamped. Exchange rate risks, cross-border tax structures, and global profit repatriation strategies are now in play. Bonds in euros, yen, pounds, or renminbi may soon supplement Amazon's traditionally dollar-denominated financing. Corporate governance will also change. Amazon's board, long focused on U.S. legal standards, is expected to grow more internationally oriented. Experts in multinational compliance, tax, and ESG standards will take on greater roles to ensure that Amazon remains accountable and competitive across its new global footprint. As Amazon expands globally, stakeholder engagement under ESG, environmental, social, and governance, standards becomes more complex. The company must now navigate the expectations of U.S. institutional investors alongside those of sovereign wealth funds and private equity partners in Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. Shareholder meetings may rotate between continents, showcasing Amazon's commitment to a truly global investor base. Labor relations are also evolving. In the U.S., Amazon has faced challenges with unionization and labor rights, but internationally, it must adapt to diverse legal landscapes, where labor laws differ widely. Some countries require profit-sharing or strong worker councils, while others offer more flexible employment structures. To remain competitive and consistent, Amazon's HR teams must design benefit packages tailored to local standards while staying aligned with global values. Training and leadership development will also need to be translated and culturally adapted to build talent across regions. Sustainability efforts present both opportunities and hurdles. Amazon's global logistics network has long drawn criticism for its carbon footprint. The realignment of shipping routes could either improve or worsen emissions, depending on implementation. The company has pledged to deploy electric delivery vehicles and use renewable energy at its facilities. Yet, in emerging markets with limited infrastructure, this will require close collaboration with local utilities and manufacturers. Carbon offsets and renewable energy credits must be negotiated country by country, aligning with Amazon's Shipment Zero initiative and each nation's Paris Agreement commitments. Reaching new audiences will require updated marketing strategies. While Amazon is a well-known global brand, consumer behaviors vary significantly across regions. To resonate locally, marketing teams must adapt messaging by localizing language, visuals, and cultural references, including promotional timing and shopping holidays. Machine learning algorithms powering product recommendations will need retraining to reflect local tastes and habits. Loyalty programs may be redesigned to include region-specific benefits, such as partnering with popular retailers or sponsoring cultural events, to deepen customer engagement. Amazon's global expansion also reshapes the competitive landscape. In Europe and Asia, rival e-commerce firms may respond to Amazon's entry by rapidly innovating, offering faster delivery, niche products, or immersive shopping experiences. Meanwhile, US-based platforms could fill gaps left by Amazon's shifting focus, forming new logistics partnerships and exploring omni-channel strategies to attract customers seeking alternatives. Investors and analysts will assess Amazon's transformation through dual lenses: legacy US performance and growth in new markets. Quarterly earnings may feature segmented reporting by region, with analysts tracking metrics like per-parcel fulfillment costs, international Prime subscriber growth, and domestic versus cross-border sales ratios. Financial models will adjust for geopolitical risks, market entry learning curves, and infrastructure investment costs. Academic institutions stand to benefit as well. Universities near Amazon's new headquarters expect growth in research funding, internships, and collaborations in fields like AI, robotics, and supply chain management. As Amazon partners with academia, faculty hiring may rise, and researchers will gain access to rich data, accelerating progress in logistics automation and machine learning. These partnerships will build talent pipelines while fueling corporate innovation.